What is going on, everyone? I'm Knux Pro, and today I have some more Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Future Soldier multiplayer for you. We are playing Conflict on Pipeline. Pipeline was one of the beta maps, so if you've seen it already, I'm sorry, but I had a pretty good game. At this point, it was my highest kill game that I've gotten in Ghost Recon. It was a 34 kill game, and I died about 11 times, and I have some good info for you on when you're making your gun, the gunsmith, and some good tips for you to hopefully improve your game. Every time I start on this map, I always, if the objective starts in the middle, which it usually does, I go down this side, because I know in the beta a lot of people go up on this stupid thing from the other team, and and I usually pick them off, and I don't think, the game's new, so some people don't know that there's a ladder right there. In the beginning, I picked those two guys off at the objective, and I did cut some parts off because it is a 15-minute game, and I cut it down to 10. Most of it's just when I'm looking for spawns and stuff like that. But first thing I want to talk about is some tips for when you're creating your weapon, the gunsmithing, I believe it's called. The two essential things that I find that are very important in this game are, first, you need extended mags. Now, so far, in this game I'm using the AK-200, and in the game I've only used rifleman. I just started using engineer, so I'm playing around with that. But the submachine guns don't have extended mags, but the assault rifles do, and you need extended mags. And I don't know why you wouldn't use extended mags, because I think your choices are like the standard magazine, dual mag, which is okay, but the assault rifles reload pretty quick anyway. And if you have extended mag, you're not going to really need to reload any faster. Or no, dual mag gives you more mag. I don't know. You need extended mags, because if you play, a lot of times you're in a situation where you run out of ammo quickly, and just for, I don't know how to explain it to you, but you're gonna need extended mags. Just the ability to lay down 30 rounds down range and be able to have another 30 after that. It's so crucial. You definitely need that. That's the first thing I would say. And the second thing I would say that has greatly improved my game is that you need a suppressor. Now, you gotta remember, you're playing in first-person shooters, a lot of people, and here I die. It was a 2-on-1. I killed the one guy, but the other guy came. Nothing I could really do about that. But a lot of people rely on radar, especially a game like this, where there's sensors flying everywhere. And the reason I didn't melee him is because I know to my back, to my 6, is the enemy spawn. So I didn't want to go through a melee animation and get shot in the back. I just wanted to shoot him and move up. So that's why I didn't melee him. And I have a suppressor anyway, so I'm good. But the suppressors don't really... Now, the only guns I've used is the AK-200 and the ACR. I just hooked them up, and I've just been using them. I'm slowly going into engineer, and I just started using the AK-47 and the MK-14. I'm trying to see if they're even worth my while, but my AK-200 and ACR are hooked up, and you need extended mags. I think the ACR, you get the round drum. That's 75 rounds you have, and here I just... Oh, I do kill him here. Okay, but you need the extended mags. I'm telling you, it helps so much, especially since this is a third-person shooter. And the suppressor helps a lot. There's drawbacks to it, but it's really not that bad. And that comes to what else I want to talk about. You need to aim high. I don't know exactly the intricacies of the game, but I know if you get a headshot at a certain distance, it's almost like an insta-kill. So you need to aim high to take down those people as quick as you can. So you should really focus on aiming high. I know it's hard sometimes, but if you're shooting at a distance, you're probably gonna recoil up into the head anyway. But if you just practice going high, you can go into the firing range and practice. Just practice on shooting at your targets high, because it's a big difference. And right here, the prone, man. People don't expect prone at all. Another tip I can give you is when you're behind cover, it's hard to tell unless you studied this game religiously and you know everything about every map. It's hard to tell if you're completely covered in covered, because people can be looking at you at different angles, body parts can be poking out, and I pick people off all the time just because they think they're in cover and they're really not. It just depends on the angle the enemy has at you. So one useful thing I do, and I don't think I do it at all in this game, but if you're in an engagement where you're in cover and the other individual is in cover and they're shooting down at you, and if they're shooting at you while you're in cover, that's probably because you have a body part sticking out and the guns are kind of recoily, especially if you get into like the first person scope or whatever. So they're probably aiming at you just prone, because it helps out a lot. And you know, it also still depends on the angle the enemy has on you, but go prone, and you know, those shots will not get on target. And when they stop shooting, or when you think they're reloading, that's when you either want to leave, which is what I would do, because I don't like being, when I play this game, I don't like being in a standoffish, you know, cover versus cover fight. I try to hit flank routes and move around, because when you're in cover, your head's just sticking out, and whatever that insta-kill type thing that happens to your head, that's what will put you down. And if that's the only part of your body exposed, you're going to go down quick. So I'd rather be out in the open, but it just depends on the scenario and the situation. There's one more thing I want to talk about. Proning. I want to talk about aiming high. I talked about the guns. One more thing I want to talk about in regards to the gunsmith. Or gunsmithing. I don't even know where I heard that before. I don't know what they really call it. But when you're fixing up your weapon... Oh, here. In this game, I'll get back to the gunsmith thing in a second. In this game, people just, like, when they're behind cover, they just sit there and, like, they expect you to be in cover, and your guys are going to just do, like, cover shooting fighting. Be proactive. I said that in my first video. Be proactive. At least now that the game is new, people don't, and a lot of people are, be real, they're coming from first-person shooters, probably. I mean, there's probably some SOCOM people and some Rainbow Six people, but, you know, you're probably facing a lot of Call of Duty, Battlefield, people just trying out different shooters. Don't sit in these cover versus cover battles. People think that's what's going to happen. Like those two guys, if you saw there, the two guys around the corner, we had them detected on the sensors. They just sat there because they're expecting a cover-on-cover battle. They're expecting one guy to be in cover, shooting back, and they'll be in cover and shooting back. Be proactive. Not all the time, but a lot of the time, if you just come around the corner and spray, and you have your extended mags, you have your silencer, if you come around the corner and just surprise the shit out of them, a lot of times you're gonna win, because they're in that mode like, oh, I'm in cover, so I can relax. They're not on their toes. They relax and they don't. They're not expecting to engage an enemy until they go over that cover or whatever. And then they're thinking about the other person in cover. Their mind's just not like, oh, a guy's gonna come around the corner and just spray the shit out of me. So that's another big tip. And what was the last thing I want to talk about? The gunsmith. To I think a big part of making your gun is the ability, at least it's working with the AK-200 and the ACR. I could see some other weapons not work as well, but change the gas system to make the your rounds per minute, I think it is, to be above, to be the highest it can be. So I think on the AK-200, the highest I can make it go is like, I could check right now, but it's over 800 rounds per minute. And the same thing with the ACR. Make sure you get your gas system to where it can shoot over to the most, because I think the Goblin only stops at 792. But for the ACR and AK-200, you can get above 800, and it'll help you drop people even more quicker. It will recoil a little more, but I mean, I find it controllable recoil with the suppressor. So I hope those tips helped you out. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. If you haven't already, please subscribe for more Ghost Recon multiplayer, because I know not many people on YouTube are doing it. I did die 11 times in this game, but what can you do? That's it. I'm Knux Pro, and remember to always shoot straight.